Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host,
Brad Sloan.
All right, back in the house, baby.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of information before we get into the professional tennis. I covered the spread. I actually beat you today.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as being like the breaking tennis news, the actual breaking tennis news.
Yeah.
You got your second win of the year on the money line over me. So you
Yeah.
played great, Manny. Like you were on fire today. So that was
It was
good
probably
work.
the best tennis match I've ever played. It felt
That first set
amazing.
was ridiculous, and the second set you played really damn well too. But the first set was like
Good. It was
the
good.
first set I was like, this is not Manny Friedman. Like you were ripping winners from like weird defensive positions that I've never
Yeah,
seen
I
before.
know.
And I was like,
It
I have
felt
no idea
amazing.
what to do.
Like I almost surprised myself. Like I hit this like slice winner. I'm like, huh? Like it was weird. All I know is that I'm gonna go on the court when I play again on Tuesday, and I'm gonna play like absolute dog shit.
Are you playing singles or doubles Tuesday?
Playing with Brian.
Okay. Yeah,
So
you probably will.
I'm gonna play terribly. I just know it. Like I never play well twice in a row. So yeah.
And then next time I play Brian, he's gonna be all over me for losing to you. He's gonna be like, "How'd you lose to Manny? Like I beat Manny 2-2," and I'm like, I don't know, Manny played awesome. Like he's played, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the actual tennis, the tennis that really
The
matters.
professional tennis, right?
Professional
Like
tennis.
Or the tennis where they pay people.
Yeah,
We get paid very minimal sums and only by ourselves.
We actually have to pay to play tennis, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so let's how about this Carlos Alcaraz, baby, Wimbledon champion.
Hey, look, an amazing match, right? Really, really high quality tennis match. I guess like huge step for Carlos, right? To pull out huge,
100%.
gigantic step, and it almost can't be understated.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he played an amazing match. I thought the fact that he came back in the fifth set, he changed tactics after the first set.
Mm-hmm.
He like started putting the ball in the court more, and that really helped him. He played really well. He used the wind really well, way better than Novak did. It's funny because this is like the second time, and ironically, like it's both have been in major finals when I've seen Novak's poor overhead smash. He's got one of the worst smashes on tour. Like it's honestly the only weakness in his game is his smash is rather poor for an ATP player.
I mean, I guess you could say that, for the break point in the fifth set, the one where
there were a few points. It was more than just that point. If you go back and watch the match, I want to say there were at least 3 or 4 points where Djokovic had smashes and didn't win the point. I don't think he missed any, but he like smashed it and didn't get a winner. You remember where you let Alcaraz stay in the point and like neutralize the point? Or
the one that caught my eye with the overhead was that the break point early
in the fifth.
Yeah.
That's the one that we'll remember, right?
Yeah.
But that one actually I thought was like the least egregious because the wind, I think, brought that ball back in the court.
Yeah, and he kind of got caught in between because he was too far back, right?
Well, I think he was hoping it would go out. I think he was hoping the ball would go wide.
He kind of second guessed himself, and then he realized he had to hit it, and then he saw Alcaraz run to the other side, so he wanted to hit a ball behind him. I think he talked about it actually on the
in his press conference.
Yeah,
like there was a lot going on there, so I actually didn't think that was the most egregious one. There were 2 or I want to say there were at least a few other points, at least maybe 2 or 3. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay to count, but like where he had smashes to win the point, or he had smashes and didn't win the point, which like in the ATP, and we've talked about this before, how Djokovic's smash, at least I've talked about this before on this pod, where how Djokovic's smash is actually it's the one shot he's not good at, and it doesn't really matter because like most of the time it's good enough.
I think my takeaway is not necessarily the overhead. It's more that like Djokovic doesn't like playing in wind because there have been a lot of matches that he's played, like high profile matches in heavy wind where he's really struggled. So like obviously the Murray match at the US Open in 2012.
There was the team semi are the ones that come to mind right away.
That was the next one that I was going to come up with. And then like he likes Australia, right? Because there's even when it's windy outside, that stadium is so enclosed, right? So like wind is never really a factor. Whereas like
I agree with you on that fact. I was going to bring that up too.
And the US Open, right? Like I feel like he's been a little bit better now that they have a roof over, and he hasn't really played in New York too much. well, because of the COVID thing and
the 1 year he played, he got DQ'd.
Right, exactly, that too. And then the year he was going for the calendar slam, he just kind of succumbed to the pressure against Medvedev, right? So, but he struggled more when there was like an open roof because like that stadium was super windy. Like that's why he lost to Nishikori in 2014. There was a lot of wind in that match too. Like,
yeah, I agree with that take. I also think like, it was especially problematic for him in this matchup because like Djokovic was never going to out-hit Alcaraz.
Right.
Right. He the first set strategy was the strategy, move him around, put him in weird positions, which is kind of what Djokovic does, especially the players like Alcaraz.
Come out as sharp, right? Like he made some adjustments, which was impressive in its own right, right? The fact that Alcaraz made adjustments.
I thought the biggest adjustment was just got more balls in the court. Like he just kind of dialed it back for once, and I thought that was impressive because a lot of times we like talk about how he doesn't do that. Yeah. He actually really did that in this match. Like this is a very mature match out of Alcaraz. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if he'll do that against other players moving forward.
Does he really need to? That's the question.
That's my point, right? Like, no, but that's the real thing, right? Is like, I feel like this match he knew he needed to like do that to beat Novak. Right. But I don't feel like, I don't know if we'll see him do this like in other matches, so he still might actually be vulnerable against like weaker players.
But like in the fifth set, for example, Alcaraz had 19 winners to Djokovic's 3 winners. And like, if you look at that 27-minute game in the third set, right, which was, I would say kind of, I mean, it was a turning point in that set, not necessarily the match, but like Djokovic was kind of huffing and puffing. Like he was the one struggling physically, whereas Alcaraz was just bullying him around the court. That's where I kind of see this more as I can buy that changing of the guard narrative, because like this is Djokovic's maybe arguably best surface, right? Maybe not. Maybe
it is for Australia. It's pretty close.
Right. And this is Alcaraz's quote unquote worst surface. Maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that he beat him here, I think it spells a little trouble. Like I think going into the US Open, he's going to be a pretty significant favorite, to be honest.
So I don't actually. So I was going to go with the opposite. Like, I definitely don't think he's past Novak on grass. Like, first of all, like sometimes the underdog wins, right? Like today, like I don't think you're a better tennis player than me. Today you dominated.
Definitely not.
Today you dominated, right? Today was your day.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So like, every dog has his day, and this was Carlos Alcaraz's day. But I did want to point out that I think it was a big step because I don't think it can be ignored. Because he played like especially because he did adjust tactically throughout the match, and he did like dial it back and play better defense. And he came through in a big 5-set match, right? He came through in the 5th set against Novak. Like I think there was a lot to be said for growth from Alcaraz. Mm-hmm. But I don't think look, the line was only like, I mean, the books were saying that Alcaraz had a 35% chance of winning this match, right? Which means like he's sometimes going to win, right? It wasn't like this was like a minus 1,000 where it was like, oh, Alcaraz has no chance.
But like the Bet Rivers guys, they were all on the Djokovic side, right? Like the MP9 guys were also on the Djokovic
They're still
side,
saying
right?
It's like 70-30. Right? Like, which means that 30% of the chance the underdog's going to come through.
Most guys thought that the line was pretty well set. I mean, it's probably because there's also a lot of sharp money coming into it, right? This is a very high profile match.
I mean, it's also the books got it, but the opening lines were pretty sharp.
I thought, I mean, it's always easier in hindsight. I'm not bragging. I thought before the match, it was a little bit too much on the Djokovic end. Like I would have put it at like plus 140 for Alcaraz, not plus 165.
I mean, you talked about it on the pod last night, to your credit.
Yeah. And I just thought like the mental gap didn't equate for that much. Like it equated for a lot.
Here's why we will never know, right?
Yeah.
Is because I think the wind ended up being a major advantage for Alcaraz.
But he just adjusted better. And that's part of
I don't actually know that I mean, obviously I agree with that, but I actually think in this matchup, if it's windy, Djokovic is in trouble because like in wind, like, because he can't hit through Alcaraz. Like he can't hit through Alcaraz. Like he has to hit around him. and he has to be really precise, and that's way harder to do in the wind. And that's why I think Djokovic was having trouble, is because he couldn't just blast away the way Alcaraz could, and just like rip away. Like Djokovic was, like Djokovic's way to win that match was to place the ball, put Alcaraz in awkward spots, and like it's really darn hard to do that when the ball's blowing around. It's hard to aim the ball because the ball doesn't go to the spot it's supposed to. There's certain shots you just can't hit because the ball's not going to like travel the way you want it to. It's hard to get in position. It's hard to get, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things like, so I think the wind had a major impact on this match. And I thought, I don't think Djokovic had a way to tactically adjust. I think it shows that like, it's kind of what we talked about on the pod, right? Like Alcaraz is the better physical player, right? In order to win, Djokovic has to like outsmart him and has to like outguile him, put him in positions he's not comfortable. One of the things I thought in the first set, Djokovic did a really good job of using like the width of the court. So like he was hitting a lot of balls like wide, and then like once the wind started to play more and more of a factor, he couldn't do that as much. So more balls were going to the middle of the court, and I think that was a huge advantage for Alcaraz.
But I feel like Alcaraz just kind of came out flat in the first set. Like he didn't really dig in. He kind of was it was like a Sinner first set almost, where
I don't know that I agree with that. I think he just missed a lot of balls too. I think he came out and just missed a lot of a lot of balls.
Point in the first game of the match, right? And then he immediately got broken.
Yeah,
it was just kind of a downward spiral from there.
He got broken twice, right? Like right. It wasn't like it actually wasn't. Yeah, I mean, so it but I thought that. Yeah, I don't know. Those are my takeaways. But I don't think that, I guess overall, like, I think they're really close.
So if the US Open is next week, hypothetically, and they play like a week from now, right? Well, what do you think that line would be now if they played a best of 5 set match at the US Open?
I think the line would be like something like Alcaraz minus 150, Djokovic plus 130 maybe. And I would be on Djokovic at that price. Like I think my takeaway is that they're really close. Like, because again, it's the two things I said, right? Like, look, like variance is a thing, right? Like sometimes like the better player, and I'm not even saying the better player on that day, but like somebody like player A can be better than player B, and player A can play really well that day and outplay play better B, or B can play bad and lose because B just has an off day, right? So that's number one. And number two, I don't think we can discount the wind. Like I think the wind, I really do think the wind was a major factor in that match, especially because, and it's not just the missed volley, but it's the maybe, like I said, maybe 3 or 4 points that Djokovic lost when he had smash attempts. And like in the wind, we've seen Djokovic have major issues with smashes, right? Like that's actually what cost him the match against Murray in that final several years back. Mm-hmm. And like ironically, like, again, in 95% of matches, it doesn't matter, right? Because like you can't, like nobody on the ATP tour can actually use lobbing as a strategy, right? Because like even Djokovic, even the worst player's smash is like good enough.
These guys are so exceptional that any little hole is going to be exposed, right? Because they're so complete. So yeah, I mean, in this matchup, that smashing aspect comes, it's a factor, right?
And Alcaraz's defense is so good, right? That he was able to steal a few points. That also can't be understated, right? Like
that's what I noticed today. Like I felt like, I was at work, but like I came home and just watched the final 3.5 sets, but like I just felt like Djokovic had trouble getting through Alcaraz. I mean,
well, I think that was the problem, right? Like Djokovic can't go through Alcaraz. I don't think he really went through Alcaraz in the French either. He went around him. He hit balls into like weird. I mean, obviously Alcaraz had the cramping issues, etc. But even in like the first and second set, when
so I actually thought if cramping was not a thing at the French, I think Alcaraz pulls that out. He's just a little bit better right now.
I think on clay you're probably right. I think these guys are really close. Like I'm not willing to say that yet. I think, like I said, I think the wind was this was a point that my match that came down to like literally a couple points. Like if you look at it, like
Novak is better still at moving on grass. You move this to a hard court, and I just think Alcaraz hits too big and moves too well. That combination is going to make it very problematic for Novak to get through Alcaraz. And like,
but he doesn't necessarily like with the wind today. He had to go through him. like I don't know, like it'll be really interesting to see this played. I hope this matchup comes up at the U.S. Open. I hope they make the U.S. Open final and they play again because like, or even like a Cincinnati or
something. Yeah,
something because
exactly.
I'd love to see this. Like this is it's really interesting to watch this match because I agree with like Alcaraz is the better physical player. The question is like, will he always be able to play this well tactically? And will Novak, like I thought Novak had, probably because of the win, but I didn't think Novak was particularly good in the last 4 sets. Like
Yeah,
I think Novak could have played a lot better. Again, partially the win, maybe partially had an off day, maybe there was, he was stretching himself out constantly.
so
Maybe
I
there were
actually think
issues.
Novak like wasn't that great the entire tournament, to be honest. Like I don't think he had a very good tournament as a whole.
I agree with you. I agree. I guess I'm assuming that level still exists. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, you could be right. Like, you could be right. I guess because I agree. I didn't think he looked that good the whole tournament. Like, I
I
think
think
that's probably part of
actually,
where your take on
I
Alcaraz
think
being better now comes from.
the best level that we saw from Novak all season was actually the first 2 sets against Alcaraz in the semi. Like that was exceptional level, right? From both guys, actually. Right.
Yeah.
I think that was his top level of the season. But this entire Wimbledon, like it wasn't that convincing. Even the
No,
cinematic
it
was
wasn't.
like closer than the score
It wasn't.
indicated. QB took a set, Rublev was competitive, even though like we thought that matchup is just terrible for Rublev. I mean, Rublev has improved, but even like Jordan Thompson was competitive, so it's like, I
I
don't know.
agree with you there.
I
I
don't know.
agree with you. I just don't like. I guess I think that like the fact that Novak did kind of struggle in this tournament and did have conditions that weren't ideal to him, and yet it got to this
Sure.
point where it was. I mean, in my mind, this was a coin flip match. Like the way it actually played out. Like I think the guys today were on basically at the same level. Like statistically, Alcaraz was a little better, but you have to remember that Djokovic tanked the last 2 games of the third set. Like just completely tank jobbed them.
Yeah.
So like once you take that out, it was like pretty damn even. And it was just a matter of, I mean, it literally came down to that one, like that lob that Alcaraz got back and that Djokovic didn't execute on the smash when he had, several better options than the one he ended up choosing. And obviously, like it's way easier in hindsight. Like in real time, that's way harder
And
to
the
do. Like
break
if we
point, if
made,
Djokovic doesn't slip in the 5th set, maybe he hits a better ball. I mean, he did get back in that point, and then
but he
Alcaraz
did hit a weak
back in the
approach.
house.
Maybe he hits a better
Yeah,
approach. Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, like, so it was such a, but the point is, it was such an even match. Like it really did feel like a match where if they played 9 sets, it would have been 5-4.
So
I mean, probably somebody would have gotten tired, but like, I'm saying hypothetically.
If these guys play 10 times on this court after today, it's probably 5-5, right? I mean,
I go the other way. I think it's maybe like 6-4 Djokovic, maybe. Yeah, probably.
but
go
if
6-4
they,
Djokovic.
I think if they play 10 times on a hard court, which I think Alcaraz is still a better mover on hard than grass, just,
I agree.
I probably
I think on
say,
hard it's probably 5-5 if they play 10
no, see,
times.
I'd say 6-4 Alcaraz.
So see where I guess that's where we're a little bit
Oh,
different, right? I
yeah.
still have a little more faith in Novak, but I see where you're coming from. Like I do think your opinion is very valid here. It all depends on like what I think it all depends on like what is Novak now? Like like what like is he starting to fall back a little bit? Like has he lost a step and will he get that back? Because you're right, like this tournament wasn't great for him. Honestly, his performance this year outside of the French and obviously Australian, but even the Australian wasn't pretty. Like he won every set, the one he lost to Quackod, but like I wouldn't say it was a very pretty tournament. Like
I mean, he also had matchups that's really favored him, and guys that really couldn't challenge him, to be honest.
I agree. And that's why I said
Rublev,
like I didn't think it was like particularly
that's like probably the worst possible matchup.
who?
de Minaur,
Yeah.
like Rublev at that point, I think he's improved a lot since then, right?
Yeah.
And then you had, who did he play in the sem? Oh, Tommy Paul in the semis, and then
which is another great matchup for him.
It's just like guys that just can't hurt him,
I agree with you. And that's why I'm saying like like, I guess I'm a little higher on Novak still based on what we saw at the French, but I get your point. Like, I don't think you're. I think you're coming from a very valid
I want to
valid
see something
position.
from Novak in like Cincinnati and Toronto, actually. Like, I think he's going to need to do something there to give me some confidence for the US Open. Can he beat Alcaraz, in a US Open final?
Yeah.
I want to see something there from him. Like he can't just like not play any summer hardcourt events, go into the Open and beat Alcaraz. Like he's gonna have to improve.
Well, I don't think he'll do that because there's just more time here, right? Like there's only 3 weeks between the two tournaments.
True.
Between the French and Wimbledon, and they actually added that weekend, thank God. But there's just not that much time, which I think is why Djokovic didn't play anything, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm guessing he'll play probably one Masters at least, maybe both. Did he play? No, last year he couldn't. Last year he couldn't because of COVID. So we don't know.
Right.
But I'm guessing he'll play one Masters. I would think he would.
Yeah,
Maybe two.
probably. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, Alcaraz, talk about a fast learning curve. This guy is just like,
yeah, I mean, very impressive, right? Like very impressive,
incredible.
the learning curve. I will agree. I think that's what I'm saying. It's like a huge step, right? Like it's impressive. Like no doubt, it's impressive. The debate is he ahead of Novak yet? But like it's impressive that we're even having the debate and that it's a true debate. Like and it's really legitimately argued on both sides.
Yeah, and it's still like you said multiple times that he's a better physical tennis player, but like how much are you weighing that mental aspect? But I also think that this win gives him so much confidence too. Like knowing that he can do it in a match like this, I mean,
yeah, I've never really thought that confidence was an issue for Alcaraz. Like, especially if you see the way he played that last game. Like, he played that last game in a very confident way. Like, you know what I mean? Like trying that drop shot the first point of the game, even though he didn't make it, like,
and then
that was a pretty
backing it up with the second
attempt.
point of the day with that lob, and then that ridiculous backhand volley, which I think that point goes understated at 15 all. Like everyone talks about.
I think both those points do.
Yeah, but the drop shot lob combo, that one got played all over social media. I didn't see that backhand volley, which I thought was more ridiculous, to be honest, because Djokovic nailed that backhand pass. And
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I didn't really look at the socials after the match too much, but because I saw the match, so I didn't really need to. When I watch a whole match, I don't really need to like watch the socials to get an opinion of it. Like
I didn't. So I was all over social media.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought the backhand volley was if it wasn't on social media more, I'm surprised because that I thought it was better. Like drop shot lob combos are always cool and look pretty, but yeah, you're right. That was a pretty makeable shot. It was a very like confident move to go for it,
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that backhand volley was just an amazing shot. Like when when Novak hit that, I was like, oh, that's 15-30. Alcaraz is in trouble. Like actually, Djokovic played a really good game that last game.
He did.
He played a really good return game. Like he breaks a lot of guys with that return game. And, we're talking about like a completely different thing. But like, that's the thing, right? It's so crazy. Like these couple of shots decided the match. And again, like great on Alcaraz. Alcaraz played a great match. Like good on him for even being in the ring and being competitive. I just think it's easy to, and I did watch a little bit of the post game. And I felt like whenever you have one of these events, the announcers are always trying to make more of it than maybe it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's a big deal, no doubt. But I think to say it's a changing of the guard, like, I'm not quite there yet.
I'm not saying that based on what I heard from the announcers and social media. I'm saying it more just based on what I saw. Like when I see someone hit 19 winners to 3, like to me that's more sustainable, if you're going to win these matches, like that.
But I mean, like that was that fundamentally was the problem for like with the wind, right? That was the problem for Djokovic. And I think that's why Djokovic has struggled in wind in the past, or a big part of it is because he doesn't really hit through
based on
people.
accuracy, right? His game is based on precision and accuracy.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are turning points in this match. Like Djokovic missed 2 easy volley or backhands in the second set breaker.
He made 3 backhand errors in the second set breaker, and he made 1 backhand error in the first 2 sets before that. But again, like that was the win. Like the win picked up during that breaker, And like the 6-5 backhand that Djokovic missed, you could see the wind like pick the ball up, and afterwards Djokovic was like complaining about the wind. Like he was very unhappy with the wind the whole match.
Yeah, wind has never been his friend for sure.
Yeah,
that it is a slight equalizer.
I wonder if he tried to get the roof closed. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, and they wouldn't do it for him.
Yeah, it's an outdoor tournament. Why should they?
Well, I think they closed the roof for the women's final, didn't they?
It was raining.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, was it raining?
So.
Okay.
I don't know, but
I mean, the Wimbledon, like the Wimbledon people do weird things with that roof, man.
Weird things.
Like, yeah, it doesn't really seem like there's any rules. So, and it's been that way forever, right? Like, hasn't it been that way? Like, there's been all these weird decisions with the roof going back ever since they had it. It's always like this huge controversy.
Weird. It's weird. Also, like if a match gets postponed due to rain the day before, like if they have to push it back, but they played with the roof closed, they should finish the match with the roof closed. I feel like that was a thing, but this year it wasn't. So it's just weird. They just do the weirdest crap. But I mean, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, this kind of changes also the landscape in terms of like, Djokovic is not going for a calendar slam.
Right? I think that's the biggest thing, actually. That's the biggest news. And that's why I was really disappointed, because I wanted, like, the calendar slam would have just been so fun from a drama perspective. I think it would have been really hard for Djokovic to pull off, honestly, but like I think it would have just been fun to see him go for it.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think it will be really hard. To me, a big factor is whether or not Medvedev lands in Djokovic's side or Alcaraz's side at the U.S. Open. Like if Djokovic has to play Medvedev and Alcaraz back-to-back in the U.S. Open, that's going to be problematic for him.
Way more problematic than if Alcaraz lands than Medvedev lands in Alcaraz's half.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like Djokovic has to hit around people, and Medvedev doesn't mind that, right? Because he's so and like those rallies are just ridiculous. Because
it is interesting that Djokovic lost this. Like, and that's the crazy thing about Alcaraz is like he can do it all, and that's what he showed in this match. He actually that was what was really cool is he did dial it back and show off more of his like ability to be patient and be like tactically smart and like know when to go for it, when not to. Like, that to me is what was impressive about this match is his ability to like
he really can do it all.
Yeah. But he's got, I mean, he's it's incredible. Like I think he's the most complete player that we've seen for this age.
It's a joke.
Because like Federer never was able to really dial it back. Like he won,
but he also had a ton of holes that you can expose, right? Like the high backhand with Nadal, right?
Yeah.
Like with Alcaraz, you just can't, like, where do you go?
Yeah.
Like I feel like the level that these two produced was he's in some ways higher than the level that like Novak and Roger produced or Novak and Rafa produced. Like in moments, like I still think the Novak Rafa French Open matches have been higher quality than this, right?
Yeah, this match is getting a little bit overhyped for being high quality because like a set and a half, or not a set and a half, but like the first set was a dud, and the end of the fourth set after that 37-minute game was a dud. And honestly, even like that 27-minute game was like, it was amazing, but there were some dud shots. Yeah. There were some dud quality. Like Alcaraz had 4 or 5 like easy missed forehands that only like break points. You know what I mean? Like
Djokovic too, by the way. I felt like Djokovic was kind of fatigued at that point. He was kind of like
and then he got it back. He kind of got a second win. Yeah. I think leaving the court helped him.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough Wimbledon talk. What great tournament.
Back to the 250 life.
Yes. Great tournament.
Much better than the grass tournament coming up, Newport.
How did you do best advice, like as a whole for Wimbledon?
Did okay. I was up like 25 units the first couple of days. Ended up giving most of it back. The semi against Alcaraz helped, or the Alcaraz that was semi
good.
helped.
That was good.
I think overall I ended up like slightly positive, but like nothing amazing.
Okay. I had a really good event. I was up like 50 plus units. So
yeah, that's amazing.
It was really, really good for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into 250s, baby. So let's start with the weakest 250, probably of the year, to be honest.
I mean, this is actually significantly worse than Marrakech in terms of the draw.
It's really bad, man. That is 15 minutes from where I went to college, in Newport, Rhode Island. A nice little town, home of the Hall of Fame. All right, so let's look at the draw here. So we have.
And isn't this tournament like in the town? Like one of my buddies went, he said like there's a shop
is.
right like 2 blocks away.
It's
and
like
it's just like this
literally in
little
the
like
center of the
grass
town,
club with
yeah.
like 5 grass courts.
Yep. So are the qualifiers placed? No, not yet.
No, they actually haven't. They haven't even finished the first round of qualifying yet.
Wow.
So that's something to look out for. That they're playing like 1.5 rounds of qualies tomorrow.
Okay.
So if the qualies guys play Tuesday, they might be a little bit gassed out.
Okay.
Even for grass, like if you're playing 2 quality matches in a day. And I don't know how exactly they're running this tournament. Like I don't know if they're running the first round over 3 days. Like I don't know exactly how they're doing this. So just something to watch out for.
So Tommy Paul is the number 1 seed. He gets a bye. He'll play Ethan Quinn or a qualifier. Isner's in this section.
Yeah, Ethan Quinn was the NCAA champ.
Okay.
He's a kid from Georgia. I think he's 18. I think he's 18 or 19. Was a won the NCAAs as a redshirt freshman. But he did lose like 10 matches this year during the NCAA season. He wasn't amazing during the season.
Okay.
But
yeah, he played Challenger last week. He lost to Junshen Shang pretty handily. So
yeah.
And then Corentin Moutet is the 8th seed here. He's in that quarter. The thing is that this grass is, I heard it's really, really quick, right? It's like big servers do well. Didn't you post something on Twitter where it was like underdogs typically do exceptionally well here?
Yeah, and so this is one of the fastest tournaments you'll find. Like this is about as fast as it gets.
Yeah.
Underdogs tend to do, it wasn't me, it was Nishikori, a guy named Nishikori. On Twitter who posted it, and I just retweeted it. But yeah, underdogs tend to do really well here. It's a weird tournament, right? Like it's a grass tournament after Wimbledon. It's like weirdly spaced in the schedule. It doesn't make a whole, I mean, like it's I don't know, like, yeah, it's a weird tournament. We'll end it at that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think there are any quarter prices up. So let's just go over the entire draw and then we'll kind of pick an outright here. So we got McDonald in the next quarter, the top seed in that quarter. We'll play qualifier Vukic, Duckworth, Lestienne, Michelson, and Cressy are in that quarter. Then the bottom half of the draw, you got Purcell and Brower, Gabriel Diallo against Kevin Anderson.
He's coming back out of retirement. Or back out of whatever hiatus he was in.
Yeah. Steve Johnson and then Ugo Humbert, who's actually been terrible on grass this year, surprisingly. Then the bottom quarter, which is probably the strongest quarter of the bunch, you got Jordan Thompson and Kovacevic, Liam Brody, and Mazuhuki. Shelby, who should be in a qualifying draw, but he got direct entry. He'll play Rinky.
Well, so does Shintaro. Like Shintaro also should be in a qualifying draw. Really Leon Brody should probably be in a qualifying draw. This tells you how bad this tournament is, man.
I know. But this quarter is kind of top heavy because you got Jordan Thompson and Monteiro.
Yeah, somehow Jordan Thompson is a 7th seed.
I know. So who catches your eye for an outright here? Go to the lines. So Paul is plus 270.
Oh, there are no. Yeah, you're right. There are no quarter prices up. So for an outright, I mean, I get why Tommy Paul's the favorite. I don't love it. I don't know, man. Like
275 is too short because how motivated is he going to be here?
Yeah, and and is he that much better anyways on grass than Jordan Thompson?
Not necessarily.
And yeah, I mean that's a real question. I didn't mean that like as a joke. Like,
yeah, no.
Jordan Thompson's got a rough draw, but I as a player I like him. I
don't like the fact that Monteirino's in his section. And Brody.
I'm not as worried. I feel like Monteirino's a good guy to fade. He might be hurt. Like he didn't look good against Medvedev.
But he's had nearly 2 weeks to recuperate.
He's also, I think, a little overrated right now. Like, so I showed you, right? We talked about this on the last pod. Like his break point percentage is like over 40% this year. which is just not sustainable for him. Like he's not like you're not going to convince me he's that good on return. Like he's just not. So I think he's a little overrated. But I'm saying even Manarino aside, like Kovacevic isn't that easy of a first round match either compared to the rest of this draw. True. What about Big John, man? He's only 10-1. That sucks. That's such a shitty price.
It is a shitty price, and I just like he's been so bad and so
I know. No. He's unplayable at that price. I mean, this might be one where I have to like wait for quarter prices because like I just can't think of like what price I really like there. Like Diallo, I think has been decent lately, but does he play any grass? I don't know.
I actually
Vukic could be kind of fun. Vukic at 33. That's kind of a fun pick.
I don't mind Alex Michelson at 40-1.
I'm a little worried because he just played in Chicago, right? He just won the Chicago Challenger.
He did. Did he win that?
He did, yeah. He won today.
So he beat Shang coming back.
He beat Shang and then he beat this guy Shimizu today.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't like.
But what's his
I don't hate it, but he's coming off of hard. That was a hard court challenger, and now he's coming back to grass.
But he has the game for grass, like big serve, kind of aggressive game.
No, I know. It's just another adjustment back, and he's like, I don't know. I don't hate him at 40-1. Like you could do a lot worse. What is Mackey?
Mackey's 10-1, I think.
Ugh.
It's just like Mackey also like so big servers are gonna be favored here.
Yeah. Vukic is a pretty good serve though.
What's his draw? But he has to play Mackey first round.
After a qualifier? I mean, that's not that bad. The rest of that section's not amazing. Like, I mean, is Michelson's draw that much better? He's in the same section. Like, it depends how much you hate Cressy. Like, I know we really are fading Cressy hard, but like, you know.
Yeah. This is rough, man. This is really rough.
I mean, how's Kovacevic been lately? That could be a fun pick.
Kovacevic. He lost to Michelson 4-2 in Chicago. He lost to Enzo qualifying round 3 at Wimbledon.
Yeah, I don't love it.
He really hasn't been that good.
No, he hasn't been. And then you see the matches before that, that's not pretty at all. He was only like a 10 match losing streak. So yeah, no thanks on Kovacevic. I guess I'll back. I mean, if I have to back some, I mean, these bottom, like the thing is, there's a lot. Like, I think this could be anyone's tournament. So I want to throw a couple of darts at like the bottom of the board.
I know.
Because I think this is really random, which is kind of why I like, I think Michelson's. I don't think Michelson's a bad pick. I
don't want the guys up top like Cressy at 10-1. Really, Isner at 10-1. Really?
Well, no, because they're real ATP players. Like those top 7 guys that are 10-1, those are the only real ATP players in this draw.
Yeah. I like Jordan Thompson at 7-1. And I like Michelson at 40-1. I think those are my two futures picks here.
I might tail you on both of those and throw on a little Vukic money as well.
Vukic. Okay.
Yeah. Because I actually do like I think Thompson's the best player. I think he's the best. I actually think he's got the best chance to win. Him and Tommy Paul, it's pretty close. The only concern there is like how quickly did Jordan Thompson get over to Newport here after Wimbledon?
Yeah.
So it might be worth, but like you're getting 7-1. Not that worried about it. Who does he play first round?
He plays Kovacevic.
Should be able to beat Kovacevic anyways, right?
Yeah, and then Liam Brody, probably. And then Monteiro. I mean, yeah,
I mean, that's a good draw. And that honestly is a good draw. Like, yeah, I used to play Monteiro in the quarters, but like, I don't know.
I mean, but I feel like Monteiro gets up for these 250s as well. You know, like this is
I
where
just don't think he's that good. Like, I think we're overrating Monteiro at this point. Like, I just don't think he's that good. Like, I know his game plays up on grass, plays better on grass, but I just don't think he's that good. It's interesting if you're looking at the Monteiro Thompson head-to-head matchup. They played twice this year.
Okay, and
they played in Dallas, and Monteiro won 5-2 and 6-2, 7-6.
Okay.
They played in Den Bosch, and Thompson won 5-7, 7-6, 6-2.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
So pretty even. I mean,
It's pretty even.
Like, I think I actually give a slight advantage, I think, to Jordan Thompson in that matchup. But then, like, it kind of sucks because all these guys are Americans too. Like, man, like, these American guys are probably gonna want to win this tournament.
I mean, Cressy is defending champion. And I know Isner won this a bunch of times.
Isner made the finals last year. It was Isner versus Cressy.
Cressy.
I hit the over.
Didn't they play the most?
I got there in like 3 sets
or something.
What?
Didn't they play the most ridiculous tiebreak?
But it was like 6-2, 2-6, 7-6.
Oh, okay.
It was a really weird. Like, I hit the over like 26 or the over like 25 and a half. Mm-hmm. And like after 2 sets, it wasn't guaranteed. I needed like a 6-4 in the third to get there. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with this tournament? Like, oh no, it was 2-6, 6-4, 6-3. Yeah, it wasn't even, yeah. But it was 3 sets between Cressy and Isner, no sets of longer than 10 games.
Yeah, that one, you're never gonna see that.
Yeah. Like I said, I bet the over like 26 and a half at plus money. And like, because I was like, oh, okay, hopefully I get 3 sets. Or maybe it might be over 25 and a half. Yeah. And I was flipping out because it was like, like, I was like, 2 sets are gone and the over is not clinched yet. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I know.
If I lose this in a 3-set over between Cressy and Isner, I'm going to flip. Like,
and then they played in the Australian Open, and that was a 5 sets with each set going over 9.5 games with 3 tie breaks. So like that's what you expect when they play. But yeah, all right. So those are my 2 plays: Thompson and Michelson.
I think Michelson's. I really think you want to be like because I think you really want to be like bottom of the board with this tournament, man. I think you really want guys off the bottom of that board. Like,
I agree. There's definitely value on the bottom of the board for sure.
Yeah, because I think this tournament is pretty random. I think it's like kind of.
I actually like
even Brouwer sitting there at 50 to 1 is kind of interesting. Like,
you
just don't like Brouwer.
I don't like Brouwer. I like the 4th quarter to win at plus 225.
Yeah, me too.
Like, how does that quarter have better or like worse odds than the first quarter?
Well, because Tommy Paul's the best player in this tournament.
I guess I don't like Tommy Paul in this spot.
I don't either, but Tommy Paul's the best player in this tournament.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
He's also coming off an injury, Tommy Paul. Right? He may not even play this. We don't even know.
I know. It's true. But I like that. I'm going to hit that 4th quarter to win because I think that that's by far the toughest quarter in this draw.
Well,
because Rinky is a decent grass court player, and then you got
but here on a super fast grass, it's probably not going to help him as much, right? Because his serve isn't that good. I mean, that's the thing, right? The servers are the guys here you want.
But the 3rd quarter doesn't really have any servers either.
Kevin Anderson, the Candy Man.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't played in like 2 years, right? So
I know. I'm half kidding. Kidding.
I know. I mean,
that first quarter, man, you got John Isner out there. If you're looking for big serving, top half of the bracket, baby.
The top half of the bracket definitely has the bigger servers for sure.
I mean, this honestly could be I wouldn't be completely stunned if Isner won it. This could be an Isner spot, but there's no way I'd hit it at 10 to 1.
Yeah, I'd need like 20 to 1.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, but I do think that like this could legitimately be an Isner spot. I just don't like, and the draw is amazing. Like this tournament sets up perfectly for him.
Yeah.
Especially if Paul doesn't play. Like,
although if he plays Mute and the ball comes back, which it might, that's going to be problematic for Isner. Like Isner has to win the point on the serve. Otherwise he's screwed. As soon as the ball comes back, like with 3/4 depth, like it's problematic.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't win the first set, he's done. He doesn't have like stamina to last 3 sets anymore. Like his serve velocity goes down. Like we talked about it with Josh. Like
I'm not saying I'd take him at 10-1. I'm just saying I think like this is if there was a John Isner spot, this would be the John Isner spot, either this or Atlanta.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, he did get to the final in Dallas.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right, let's go over
What's the weather supposed to be like this week in Newport?
Newport.
Man, you are as a former Newportian, as a former Rhode Islandian. What is it, Rhode Islandian? Rhodian?
I don't even know.
Rhodey is a former roadie?
Roadie. Yeah, Roadie Ram.
Yeah.
So a little rain. I mean, very humid as it is here.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Oh yeah, I mean your standard weather. We should have known this. This is like every day in the summer here. It's a little cool though. It's only in the high 70s.
Okay, there are gonna be some thunderstorms, some rain delays, but like
could be, could not be. I mean, Manny, we know this. This is every day in New Jersey.
Every day.
It's the same thing in Newport. It's the same weather. It's every day. It's the same in the summer. Like it's just 40% chance of rain, and especially in the afternoon. Like,
so let's go over some first round lines here. So I know there's a bunch of qualifying matches, but
Thompson, so Brody Mochizuki is a real match.
Yep.
I'm constantly going Mochizuki there, man. 3.5 games is a pretty big spread on grass. I think Brody's way overrated personally.
You're gonna go Mochizuki on the money line or take the 3.5 games?
The debate for me is, do I take the 3.5 games or do I take a set?
What's the plus 1.5 sets? Yeah, it's minus 150 to win a set.
I'll probably just take the 3.5 games.
Yeah, 3.5 sounds good.
Especially if he takes a set, he should cover 3.5, right?
Right. It's grass. It's really grass. So there's going to be some like longer sets.
You also might be able to get a tiebreak. What's the over there on the Mochizuki Brody match?
22.
That might be the play, man. I guess they're kind of the same, right? Like,
let me see Mochizuki. So he lost to Paul 5-3-1. Piros, Klein, Grenier. I mean, he did qualify.
It isn't really about Mochizuki. It's more about Brody.
So you're like on a hard fade on Brody? Like you think he's just going to overvalued?
I think so. Like I mean, look at Brody's grass record, and like it's not good. He beat a bunch of he made the third round of Wimbledon, but he beat Leshchan and Ruud. His other wins are Koinski and Noguchi, and he has losses. Like, I get a lot of the guys are pretty good players, but like, man, I don't know. Like, is that really impressive? Like,
Diallo,
like the impressive match there is beating Ruud, and I'm not impressed by beating Ruud. Ruud had a hard time with locally, and locally is not even a good challenger player.
Yeah, Ymer beat him 2-4.
Yeah. And even if you look last year, Brody on grass, he made a run at Wimbledon, but it was again like crap competition. He beat Klein in 5 sets and Schwartzman in 5 sets. And Klein is, garbage, and Schwartzman is useless on grass.
Yeah. You know what? You might be right. And then I think I'm going to take the 3.5 games. I think that's my play.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you could get broken once and still get there on the 3.5.
I know. Thompson Kovacevic. I'm
not touching this one.
Spread. I think it's well set.
I don't think it's completely disrespectful, and I don't love the idea of betting anybody who's coming over from Wimbledon, especially because Jordan Thompson had a pretty nice run on the European grass. Yeah. You just don't know, like, and I don't know, I feel like you may agree with me on this, you might not. Like, I don't really trust Jordan Thompson to fully show up. Like I'll put him on an outright because you're getting 7-1, but I don't fully
I'd agree
trust
with
him to
that.
show up.
I'd agree with that. I'm usually not a guy that backs Thompson.
Yeah.
I don't know for what reason exactly. I just like I don't think he's very mentally strong. Like I think he could just go away, you
He can
know?
sometimes go away. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he played a good match against Novak, but that was probably the best match I've ever seen him play, to be honest. I'm probably gonna stay away as well. Shelby and Rinky. Rinky's a 3-game favorite, minus 220 on the money line. Shelby is a plus 180. Over under is 22.
How big does Rinky serve? I look at any Rinky match for
He's not that big of a server.
And Shobay's got a way bigger serve, right? Of these two guys.
I haven't seen much of Shelby.
I've bet on it a couple times. He's done pretty good for me.
He has.
Yeah. Well, he's like an unknown kid, right? He's a college kid from Florida, so that's why his ranking's pretty low. You get some Vietnam Jordan Davis Cup there. That's where it's at.
I'll have to watch some Shelby tape.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stay away for now. I don't know. Like the thing is, Rinky's rally tolerance is better.
I'm not sure it matters here on
Grass court.
yeah. For what it's worth, Rinky's 2 qualifying matches at Wimbledon were both 2 tiebreak sets.
The reset line here is plus 145. I'm gonna stay away here. I don't know. You have a play?
Close. I'm tempted to hit Shelby, but it might be a stay away. If I might I'm tempted to hit Shelby. I'm trying to look at some stuff here. Abdullah.
Abdallah Spaziri. No. What's his first name? Oh, Abdallah Shelby. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that. It's Spaziri.
Mm.
I mean, if you want to back dogs here,
Yeah, I feel like
probably worth a sprinkle to go with the Shelby money line.
yeah, I think I probably will.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's amazing. Like I don't think it's an amazing I think he's definitely the like he definitely should be an underdog, right? This isn't like this line is way off, but like I might sprinkle a little bit there.
Okay. Spaziri and Mute +5.
Spaziri's a college kid. He was the number 1 player during the season. He was he was like the NCAA player of the year, even though he didn't win the NCAA singles tournament. He was like by far the best player during the regular season. But from what I've read and heard about him, he doesn't really have like a weapon. His serve isn't bad. He can touch around 120, 125 miles an hour. I don't know. 5 games is a lot on grass, man.
I also don't know if Mute is going to show up though. You know, he's a clown, right? So
I like the 5 games here, man. On a super fast grass court with a clown against a kid. The only thing with Spaziri is I don't think he's ever played on grass. I mean, we wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? It would be like because it wouldn't be like
probably not.
Yeah. but doesn't matter, man. Like if Mute, like, can you bet this at +5 on even money and just hope Mute just clowns around? Like, I think I might just do that. Just like it's just like a blind taking 5 games on grass and like a super fast grass court. Like, he's better than you or I, right? Like,
well, yeah. I just don't know enough about him, and like,
I mean, I don't think he's a particularly good player. Like, you're not taking him because he's like, you're not really taking Elliott here because you think he's great. You're just saying 5 games, even money. Like,
I like that it's not juiced.
It's not juiced. It's 5 games. Like, I mean, if he gets beat 4-4, you win. If he gets beat 4-3, you push.
I know. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you on. It's pretty good. All right,
and this is Mute. Like, Mute could clown around and give him a set for the hell of it.
I don't think he's going to be that motivated here, to be honest.
No, why would he
play the Newport from Europe, like,
to
play in this event? I mean, he's a clown. I mean, he's probably going to like spit all over the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, maybe he just wanted to go visit the Hall of Fame, like maybe he just wanted to take a trip,
Corentin Mute, I think he's more interested.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. You realize that, right?
Well, he acts like it. He's struts.
No, he will be. Like, if you got to speak it into existence, Corentin Mute is going to be a Hall of Famer one day.
I think he's more interested in the clubs in Providence.
Is there a club scene in Providence? I've been. It didn't really seem like
everything in Rhode Island is close. So
I know, but like, is Providence really have that much of a club scene?
Not really. There are some strip clubs. I'm sure that's where Corentin Mute wants to go. All right, next match. This is my play of the day. You know how I love fading Cressy.
So how hard are you gonna fade Cressy here?
I'm gonna go money line and +2.5. I'm gonna do both.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Nice. No discussion. Gabriel Diallo against Kevin Anderson.
I'm all over Diallo here. I mean, like
100%. Do you want to do the -1.5 sets at +170?
I just want to check something here.
I like that play. Straight sets at +170 for Diallo.
Yeah, I think I like that too. I mean, Anderson hasn't played in a year and a half. And even when he did play, he wasn't good.
Yeah, he hasn't played since Miami of last year.
Yeah. The only scary thing is he did win Newport a few years back. Like, and that was like, he also wasn't good then.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out when he won Newport. It was pretty recent. He won Newport in 2021 as the 113th ranked player in the world.
Yeah, I'm going more based on what's gone on recently and like the fact that he hasn't played. To me, that's much more heavily weighted for me.
Than a Newport victory 2 years ago? Yeah. I mean, back when even if he wasn't playing well, he was playing professional tennis on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Diallo... we can go with a. I'll back Diallo 2-0 there. The play of the day though is still Michelson.
Yeah. All right, let's. It's a little bit risky, but
a little risky. We'll go for it at 170.
+1. I think that's a good enough price. Or do you want to go more conservative and just do the 1.5 games at -115?
I actually don't hate the sets here because like the 1.5 games might not be safe if it goes 3 sets. Like Anderson might get this to tie breaks, man. I imagine he can still serve.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's do the sets at +170. It's a decent price. Duckworth and Lestienne.
Do you actually want to play this match?
No, I do not. No, this is total stay away because both of these guys are just terrible to bet on. Right? Because
they're both terrible, and they both are terrible right now. Like Duckworth at one point was like a top 100 player, like
I know.
recently, but now he's I don't know what he's up to. And then like Leshan has just been a disaster. Like he's had a couple of like little blips up, but he's just been a disaster ever since.
Yeah, I agree.
He made me some nice money back like second half of last year, but like he was a disaster the whole first half of this year.
I mean, if I were to go one way, I would go Lestienne at plus 110. Just because
I would too, but I really don't want to bet this.
Okay. All right. And then Max Purcell and G's Brower. Purcell is a 1.5 game favorite, minus 140 in the money line.
I don't like the Brower money line here. I mean, it's only plus 115, but I don't know.
Purcell can only play challengers in Asia. And everywhere else he sucks. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, he got hurt, right? He got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he still played Rublev decently tough.
But remember, he lost like 20 points in a row, and like he lost like 18 points in a row to end that second set.
True.
But yeah, Purcell's a weird game. I don't know. So does Brower. Like this is a matchup of two guys with like really weird games. I think I'm just gonna take the plus money on Brower.
I also think Brower has a better serve, right? He has that lefty.
He's that weird lefty slice serve out wide.
Yeah, and I think that's going to give Purcell some problems. So I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Brower money line.
So we're pretty well aligned here.
We are. And
how do you have Alexander Miller money line? Oh, that's somewhere else. Okay, that's the play tournaments. That's fine.
Yeah, we're pretty well aligned.
Yeah, let me just get my picks in there because before I forget.
Okay. All right, let's move on to some European clay.
Give me 2 minutes here.
Okay.
You get my picks in.
On the air.
My on the air picks. Ooh, man. For Newport, an unseeded finalist is at minus 115.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that. Man, I'm all over Newport. This is crazy. What am I doing?
It's a DGen.
Serious.
DGen.
Let me just check the draw one more time before I back this this unseated idea. Man, you get Isner, you get Vukic, you get Michelson, you get Brower. The bottom half seeds, the I don't know. I'm gonna go for it. I think there's enough garbage in this draw that the seeds can get knocked out. It really all depends on Tommy Paul, man.
For play of the day tomorrow, do you like Michelson plus 2.5 or money line?
I prefer him plus 2.5, I think.
Okay.
I think 2.5 is useful against Cressy, right?
I agree.
All right. I gotta go to my game log.
All right, getting my picks in too.
Yeah, let me just click them buttons.
Newport.
All right, Newport. See you later, buddy.
See you later. All right,
Let's we're gonna take the show by money line.
I
think I did.
I'm staying away there.
I hear you. That makes sense.
I just don't know enough about Shelby.
Makes sense.
All right, let's head to Sweden.
All right, let's head to Sweden.
Yeah. I mean, Sweden is not a great draw either, but
it's okay. It's a lot better than Bastad.
Oh no, Sweden. Bastad is good. Gstaad is kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Gstaad is the best one.
Yeah.
Gstaad is like Gstaad's not bad though either. It's got some like it's got like bigger hitting play quarters, which makes sense given the altitude.
All right, so you want to do the Switzerland one first or the Sweden one?
So we can do Sweden. We can do Sweden.
Sweden? Okay.
Yeah.
So Sweden.
By the way, I'm really disappointed that Bastad and Gstaad are on the same week. Like they're two great names, and they're both Stads. They really should be split up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Last year they were split up, right?
Yeah.
I think. All right.
I think they used to be split, and they might have moved them together. Casper is the top seed here. He'll play the winner of Cerundolo and Shevchenko. I think that Cerundolo-Shevchenko match is actually really interesting. I think Shevchenko... Actually, I don't know, man. I think it's a really interesting match.
Yeah, that's a good match. That's a good match. I'm curious to see what the line is there. Qualifier against Zapata, Morales.
Offner plays Etcheverry. Etch and Zapata are going to play in the second round.
That's good. That's good.
Which is hilarious because, like, obviously their clay court is in Newport's grass, but like at Newport they would be like two of the best players in the draw.
Zapata just won a challenger last week in
which one?
Iazzi, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was all over the challenger tour last week. So
he's playing challenger Zapata.
He is, yeah.
A lot of these guys in the top 50 are, man. It's surprising.
Yeah, they just want matches.
Yeah, Zapata lost to Hugo Gaston in the final.
Oh, he lost.
Yeah, he lost. He lost from a setup to Gaston.
That's not good. Yeah. All right. So, and then the second quarter here, you got Lorenzo Musetti. He'll play the winner of Arnaldi and Rusevori, just a decent match. Lajovic will play a qualifier, and then Fokina. I wonder if we're going to get some more underarm serves from him.
Yeah, right.
Jeez. Then bottom half of the draw, you got Baez and Coria, Elias Ymer and Leo Borg.
Yeah, so we have team Argentina, and then we have team Sweden.
Yep. Madaris and Van Ash.
Dragos.
The good
Man, I love it. They put all the Swedes next to each other. You got Drago. You have Elias Ymer versus Leo Borg, and you got Dragos in the next line of the bracket. That's great. That's quality stuff right there.
And then the bottom half, the bottom quarter, you got Zverev and Molchan. You got Monteiro and Galan. Cecchinato will play a qualifier, and you get Andrei Rublev as the number 2 seed.
Why is he here? Is he really gunning for Hamburg?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, Rublev does play these like 250s, like. So
he did pretty well in Banja right? Didn't he make the final?
Yeah, he did. No, he won, I think.
No, he lost to
Lajovic. Lost to Lajovic. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what catches your eye here on the outrights? Ruud is plus 260, Zverev plus 450, Rublev plus 450, Cerundolo plus 700, Musetti plus 750, Fokina plus 1100, Etcheverry plus 1400. And then it gets a little bit wacky.
If you're looking for somebody way down the board, Lajovic at 33-1 is kind of interesting.
What's his draw like? He has a qualifier, then Fokina, which is winnable, and then Musetti or Rusev, which is
the problem is it's a really tough quarter. But honestly, this is a really tough draw in general.
It is. It is.
Like, what is Baez?
I don't like Baez anymore. Baez is 16-1.
Is that terrible?
Yeah, he hasn't really played that well in these clay 250s like he did last year. Besides Cordoba, but that was like a long time ago. Like his form has just not been that good.
Yeah. I always loved backing Seve Baez. He's only 22, remember?
Yeah.
He told the world.
Fujovic let us know about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, but he hasn't been terrible this year. He's winning. He's still winning matches.
Yeah. How about Rublev and Cerundolo? I like Cerundolo at 7 to 1.
It's also a rude spot, isn't it? Vulture another 250, man. And so when he said he was going to stop doing this, but he hasn't at all.
I know. He hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't.
And it's easy to say, like, okay, that guy's a bad draw, that guy's a bad draw, but like all these draws are tough, man. Like the only guy who I like, what is Van Ash? If you're looking for something down the board,
It's an interesting pick. 33 to 1.
it's not that good.
No.
Honestly, neither is Lajovic. Like, there's really not like there may not be a great play here. Like Fokina would be fun, but like we know what Fokina does.
I'm not willing to, have years taken off my life hacking
For
Fokina.
waiting for Fokina to do something stupid. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
And if he makes the final, he might just implode.
I like Cerundolo here because, like, I think his quarter is by far the weakest quarter in the draw.
Yeah, but he completely was gassed out, man, in Wimbledon. And that was only, what, like a week ago?
Yeah, I guess he's had a week to recover, and I think he was more gassed because he had the Eastbourne run. Like,
yeah, Cerundolo's not. What does he win the tournament?
7 to 1.
It's not terrible given his draw. I mean, even if he's gassed, he should be Dragos or Van Ash. Like that match versus, but actually that match versus Van Ash could be tricky.
Yeah. But Van Ash has nothing to hurt him with, right? So I actually think it's a good matchup for Cerundolo.
It's tough. This is a tough 250.
It is. What is this bottom quarter to win with Zverev and Rublev in there? Plus 185. That's appetizing.
What are the prices on Rublev and Zverev though?
Plus 450 each.
Although 450 is not bad, but I really, man, like, does Rublev like? But if like, I don't know, man. Like, is Rublev actually gonna play this? Like, he just made a run to the quarters of Wimbledon. Like, does he really want to play this? Rude will play. But Rude actually said, like, Rude, I mean, I don't know, 260 is really short.
That's really short. I don't like that. I don't think there's a play, maybe. Maybe not.
Like, I think this draw is too tough, but I just don't know which of these guys is gonna like come out and like it's just a weird tournament.
And what's the weather here?
It's a good call.
Um
60 degrees and rainy all week.
Yeah.
What are those chances? 70. What does Thursday and Friday look like? I think that makes me stay away more. If it's going to be a tournament that's got a lot of rain and like delays and stuff, man, do you really want to be involved in that?
True. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty slow. Right? There's altitude in the Swiss one.
There's no altitude yet. This is a pretty neutral like clay court. But it's clay, so it's like slower, but it's like it's like neutral compared to other clay, right? Like,
how about Etch on the outright at 14 to 1?
14. Did Etch play a challenger? I'd feel a lot better if he played a challenger. Maybe I don't care. The problem is, like, man, he's gotta play Zapata, and he's gotta play Rude.
Yeah.
Like, he could lose to Zapata. He probably will lose to Rude.
He's been really
he's not definite, but like Rude's the better player.
He's been very good on clay this year, though.
Yeah, I don't think 14 is enough here.
Okay.
Because like if he's a coin flip, if he's average of a coin flip in those last 4 matches, then 14 is not good enough. And I think he probably is. Like he's probably a slight favorite against Zapata, but then you can flip it and say that he's a dog to Rude. And then if he makes the semis and the finals, it depends who he plays. But like if he plays Rublev or Zverev in the finals,
Yeah, it's tough.
he's a big dog. Like,
you know what? I'm just gonna play Dolo here at 7-1. I just think his
it's a good draw. I get the point.
His quarter is weak.
I'm gonna stay away just because like I don't love what I saw out of him at Wimbledon and that Eastbourne run, and like it's also just a tough tournament to like want to get involved in. I'd rather ironically I'd rather get involved in Newport where I think there's like value like low on the board. Here's just a mess. Sure. What are the other things you can bet? What is no unseeded player to make the final?
Minus 230.
I don't know, thanks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go over the individual matches here.
Yeah.
So these are qualifying matches.
Dragos and Luka Van Ash, isn't it?
That's true. Okay.
Dragos stinks, man. And this is Clay. I might play Van Ash
minus 4. I like Van Ash minus 4 here.
Like Dragos is not. I mean, like he plays mostly future stuff. He did make the semis of a challenger in Skopje. I don't know. Yeah, he's not the toughest guy in the field with Dragos. And then he's playing who? Oh, Van Ash. That's right. The guy we're betting on.
And Van Ash is just going to make a ton of balls. Like, I don't think this is a good matchup for him. Like, Van Ash is just going to run down a bunch of balls and just, like, kind of shrink the court.
I'm going to stay away.
On a clay court, I'm hitting Van Ash minus the 4.
I understand the logic. I'm going to stay away.
Okay. All right. Next match, you got Monteiro and Galan.
Can't believe Monteiro's a dog here on clay.
Yeah, that looks good. I think I'm just going to do Monteiro money line.
And Monteiro did play the Salzburg Challenger last week. He lost by Neumeyer in the quarters, but he did beat Trungeliti.
Yeah, but Neumeyer is he's Austrian, so he got the home crowd and like
yes.
You know. Also Galan made 4th round of Wimbledon, so it's kind of a quick turnaround him to a different surface.
Yeah, I'll back Monteiro at even money.
Yeah. I just think Galan, playing Wimbledon, getting kind of deep run, and then like transit the.
Well, this is a good search for Monteiro, right? Like
it is.
What about the over here? I love Monteiro as an over guy.
Over guy.
But 22.5 is pretty big for Clay.
Monteiro over 12.5 is plus 110. That's pretty.
Can Galan get to 5 in a set?
I mean, the book clearly thinks so.
What? The Galan gets a 5 in a set?
I mean, the book has Galan as a favorite here.
Yeah.
You know what? Monteiro money line. Let's just stick to that.
I'll probably split my unit on both, and I'll have the plus the over 12.5 is a nice little like backing in case Monteiro chokes.
Okay.
I don't know why I would in the first round of a 250, but
all right, Zverev and Molchan. So these guys played the French Open. Zverev put a beat down on Molchan. I like Zverev minus 4.5 games here.
This is probably another stay away spot for me, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like
Molchan has been really, really bad this year.
I know.
He's far away from what he was last year.
Yeah, you lost to Koinski, man, in the Challenger last week. He lost to freaking Kuzminov 0-1.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. Yeah. He got destroyed by Ymer 3-3 and 4 at Wimbledon. Like he's been bad.
I think you gotta go Zverev here. I don't even like because this transition service. I don't know, like I don't know, but like
This matchup just screams like 2 and
it
3.
screams Zverev. Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna lay games here with Zverev. Ooh, Elias Ymer and Leo
Oh, I
Borg.
wouldn't touch this. Like Emer is not good enough for me to touch it. Like Leo Borg is not good. Although I
No,
think he played Tommy Paul pretty tough here last year.
that's true. That is true.
Like Sweden doesn't have a whole, but see now he's playing against somebody on home soil. So this is home soil versus home soil, so he's get that advantage. And I'm allowed to say home soil here. Klaus Fulgaard on Twitter always mentions home soil, and usually it's BS because it's all you're talking about like a concrete or whatever surface, like a hard surface. This is actually soil, so we can call this home soil.
The soil. Leo Borg, man. I mean, I feel like he just gets entry into these events because like he's Bjorn Borg's son.
Yeah, and he's Swedish.
I guess they played in Stockholm and he took a set off Paul. Remember it was like the biggest deal ever when he did that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so depressed I took Paul 2-0. And it was like minus 280 or something insane. I was like, oh, this is still a shoe-in. Paul's gonna easily do this.
I
And he
know.
actually blew the first set, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was so sad because I was like, oh, well, Paul's gonna lose anyways. Like, why can't he just like or Paul's down a set? Like, why does he have to come back and win and then make it even more depressing? Like, just lose.
Yeah. This is a stay away, man. I agree with you. Also, Elias Ymer is like I feel like he's a good guy to maybe back as a dog, right?
He's a better guy back as a dog than a
But
favorite.
as a favorite, it's just like
And giving up 6 games is just so much. Like
so much. All right, this match you're actually looking forward to Juan Manuel Cerundolo and Shevchenko. And the books agree because it's pretty much a pick 'em.
I think this is pretty right. Like it's different styles,
Yeah.
but I don't think either is that much worse than the other. Like
Yeah. But Juan Manuel just lost to Offner in last week's challenger, 2 in love.
I know. But he
So
did make the semi. He won 3 matches before that.
that's true.
And he did look good at Wimbledon. He took 6 games against Sinner.
Yeah.
He looked good for my bet. For my 12-1 hitting. He knew what he had to do. Take his
Yeah.
time.
Look good for us.
Exactly, that's my point. Yeah.
Tennis. Yeah. But
I mean, this is
Shevchenko.
a bottom level. This is like a bottom level ATP match, top level. Like, I think it's pretty close, man. Like, and neither guy's plus money, right? It's like they're both minus. It's pretty close to a pick.
Yeah, pretty much. But also Shevchenko has tailed off since kind of having a good start to the clay court season.
Well, because it was Madrid, right? Like he did well in Madrid at altitude, and then which makes sense. Like his game is like a bigger game.
I'm surprised he's not playing in Switzerland with the altitude.
I'm surprised too.
And a weaker draw.
I mean, I think I like. I might. I mean, I might be tempted to back Juan Manuel here.
You like Juan Manuel over 12.5 at plus 120?
No, because like the way my Juan Manuel plays, like there's not a whole lot of long sets, right?
Okay.
They've got 2 career head-to-head matches in the past few years. Shevchenko won them both, but one was in Antalya, one was in Madrid. What about 3 sets here?
Plus 135.
Terrible. But I don't know that I like that for the first round of a tournament, man. I get like Klaus has made this point. Klaus Fulgaard has made this point before too. Is like first round of tournament. How many overs do you really want to play? Unless you really believe that both guys are going to like really show up.
Yeah.
But they should, right? Like one, like this is a big chance for both of them to be in a main draw of an ATP event. So they should both show up. The over is kind of cool there too. What about the over 21.5 for a match that should be dead even? The problem is you probably need 3 sets there in order for that to hit. Because just with one man well, there's gonna be so many breaks, man.
Right.
I
don't have a read. That's why I'm kind of just like
saying nothing, letting me talk.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I don't know. I might go Juan Manuel money line. Like I think he's playing a little better than Shevchenko right now. I might just go Juan Manuel money line.
Okay. I'm staying away there. I don't have a read. Arnaldi and Rusevori. Arnaldi is minus 120 in the money line, Rusevori even money.
22.5 on clay, man. Under? Especially first round of a tournament?
You tell me. I mean, you're the Rusevori.
I know, but I'm gonna start losing. Then I'm gonna lose my mojo. You know what? I'm gonna stay off it.
You're staying off this one?
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Rusevori hasn't played since he lost that Wimbledon match. Arnaldi hasn't either since he lost the first round of Wimbledon, so I'm gonna stay away. They both took 2 weeks off. First match in 2 weeks. I'm gonna stay away. I don't think this line is ridiculous. The over-under looks a little high to me. I think the under, if there was a play here, it would probably be the under, but I'm gonna stay away.
I actually don't mind Rusevori money line. Like, I actually think he should be the minus 120 guy, and Arnaldi should be the one even money.
I agree. I just think it's close, right?
Like I think Rusevori is the better tennis player. I think like he wins this match 60% of the time.
Oh, then you should definitely be all over Rusevori. Because then you think he should be like minus
I think I'm
170
gonna
or
hit
something.
Rusevori, yeah.
Yeah. The reason why people are on Arnaldi is he's been pretty good lately.
Arnaldi, let me see his results.
He won a challenger. He beat Munar, Pedro, Costa.
Those guys have been so bad. Like Munar and Pedro are like instant fades for me.
Yeah.
They've been really, really bad. So I don't look too much into that. All right, next match. Baez and Coria. Baez is a 4-game favorite, minus 250 on the money line. Coria is plus 200, over under 21.5. So these guys, this is a rematch of the Cordoba final. But Coria has fallen off a cliff since then.
I agree.
I'm leaning Baez minus 4.
I'm not on this match. I'm staying away here too. I got a lot of more stayaways here than I did Newport.
Okay.
But I get it. I don't think the Baez plays a bad play here. I'm just not gonna hit it.
I'm gonna just quickly look at Coria.
He's been terrible recently. I mean, I agree.
Add Mazur, Ivashka, Voltage. I'm gonna look at Baez. Yeah, I'm gonna lay the games.
And lay those games, son.
Yeah. Probably more so than the sets here.
And Bastad, those bastards.
Offner and Echeverry. Etch is a 3.5 game favorite, minus 220 in the money line. Offner is plus 180. Over under is 22. What's Etch and straights? Plus 115. I don't mind that. Offner is coming off a challenger run in Salzburg, where he won.
on home soil.
Yep. So there's a travel spot there.
Yeah, but it's Austria to Sweden. That's not it. That's not that big. I mean, as long as you got like a day, I would. I would. What is this line here? What is it here? 3.5.
Etches minus 220, minus 3.5.
Like I think there's a little value on edge, but I'm not going to take it. I'm going to stay away.
I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit the minus 1.5 sets of plus 150. I'm
All
gonna
right.
plus here. So all right. So that's Bastad. Let's
Do I not have a single play there?
no Monteiro money line.
I like Monteiro money line. That's my
And
one
then
play.
Zverev minus 4.5.
Yeah, you're right.
And then didn't you like Van Ash as well?
I think I ended up staying off of Van Ash. I said I had a lean, but I stayed off it. I think I just went with the two that we just talked about.
All right, let's place those bets. I have Cerundolo in the outright.
They got nothing. Sorry, pod fans. Not getting much from Brad on the Bastad life.
So you're
Maybe
gonna
you don't want me in the Gstaad life.
so you're gonna be watching Newport more than anything.
I'm gonna be all over Newport, baby. Plus, we can actually watch that when it's not at 5 in the fucking morning.
All righty. Let's head over to Switzerland where there is some serious altitude here.
1,100 meters.
Yeah, so it's one of the highest altitude tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, let's go over the draw. So RBA is the top seed here.
Yep.
He will play the winner of Kachin versus Taro Daniel. Wame Munar will play Alexander Richard. Stan Wawrinka will play Carbayas Baena in a pretty interesting first round match.
That's a really good quarter, actually.
That is a good quarter.
Um,
Yeah. And then the second quarter, you got Yannick Hoffman. He'll play the winner of Bonza against Altmaier. Moeller and team. And then Medvedev against Zhizhen Zhang. So that's the top half of the draw. The bottom
that
half.
Medvedev Shang match is a popcorn match, man.
That is a good match. That is a good match. Bottom half of the draw, you got Ymer and Varias. Rinderknecht Bagnis. ARV against Fonini. Ew. And Lorenzo Sonego gets the bye.
I remember Fonini he was still playing. I mean, I knew he was still playing, but I'm surprised he got a wild card into here.
Yeah, wild card, yeah. Laszlo Giri against Zizou Bergs. Husler and Rodionov. My guy, Arthur Feast against Dominic Stricker. And the number 2 seed here is probably
Mio Kecmanovic.
Miomir Kecmanovic, a guy I absolutely hate betting. What catches your eye here, Brad? Let's go to the futures. So wow. So the favorite here to win this tournament is plus 650.
Yeah, I mean it's a really wide open tournament.
It is. So I'm sure there's some value here. So Sonego's plus 650. RBA is plus 650 as well. Hoffman is plus 650. Mio is plus 750. Giri is plus 900. Wawrinka is plus 900. Team is 12-1. ARV is 22-1. Yuck. Moeller is 22-1. Munar is 22-1. As well as Ymer and Kachin. Feast is 25-1. Altmaier is 25-1. Medvedev is 25-1 as well. And then it kind of gets nutty down there. But
Stricker at 33-1, man.
playing at home.
Big game. big game, playing at home. He's done well in some of these altitude clay challengers. I think
Yeah.
like there was Zeg, is it Zeg Zug or something he won recently?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's an altitude clay challenger.
The thing is, he's coming back from that surface transition. The last time he played was Wimbledon, where he made a decent run.
But at 33-1, right? Like you can start to ignore that stuff at 33-1.
It's
The
true.
price just gets really good.
He did
So
win
that's
a
the guy I got my eye on.
clay challenger in Prague.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also playing at home, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So let me see his draw. I mean, he has Arthur Fils and then Kecmanovic.
I don't
And
think Kecmanovic is that scary here.
no, it's not. He's not.
And Feast isn't that scary. I mean, Feast is scary here, but he's not like, I don't know, he's not that scary. Like, it could be worse, is my point, right? Like, in terms of draw, it could be worse. I actually think Dere's the tough guy here. Dere's been really
Yeah,
good. Like,
Jerry's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking of maybe going like the other thing you could do is like you could go Stricker and Dere, but Dere you're only getting like 9-1. But a Dere could be a good play here. I really like his draw, man.
Hmm.
That might be my plays to go. I
What
might
about
back both those guys.
what about Husler at 80-1?
Has Husler done anything on clay though?
But this is altitude. And he probably has a pretty big lefty serve.
Yeah. Yeah. But he hasn't done well even in like altitude clay channel. So Mexico City, that's altitude, and he lost in the second round to Gallo. Zug is a little bit of altitude. He lost into I mean, this is like Mexico City was back in March. Zug is back last year. So you're going back a ways, but like just trying to find some altitude results. He lost to Stricker here last year in 3 sets.
Okay.
I don't know. I think there's definitely more backing on Stricker as if not as just a player in general, definitely in terms of like clay altitude success.
Okay, but the price indicates that, right? Like Husler, you're getting 80-1. Stricker, you're getting 33-1. Like, and the
It's not
Husler
bad,
Stricker
80-1, man. It's not bad.
80-1.
It's
I
not
think
bad.
like of these guys on the bottom like tier here, I think Husler is the best value.
Just because the price is so high is insane.
Exactly. And it's in Switzerland.
Also, is Zhang at 50-1 kind of cool? Like, isn't every match just a coin flip? It just depends if he just smacks the ball in or out. And like, if you coin flip like 5 times at 51, that's probably good. There's probably plus EV there.
I actually like Medvedev in that matchup though.
I know, so do I. I don't actually think I would do it, but like, it's kind of interesting he's that far down at 50-1. But that's actually a tough draw because Hoffman's tough there too.
Hoffman actually is a nice play. Clay altitude, like
Yeah, his draw is not that bad. I mean, that draw is pretty damn good actually.
it's good. I think he's a decent.
What is Hoffman? Is he like 7-1?
It was 6 plus 650
It's not terrible. What is he doing in the quarter?
plus
What was it?
160.
160. That's 2 matches he's got to win. Look at his draw again.
Bonsai or Altmaier.
He's gonna beat Bonsai or Altmaier. He's to beat like one
Muller
of the guys on the
team.
bottom, and it's plus
Medvedev.
160. That seems pretty good. No,
It does. Seems really good, actually.
I'd rather go there than the outright with Hoffman.
I like both.
Yeah, I just like the quarter a little better.
Okay.
What is Laszlo to win that bottom quarter? Let's just go quarter by quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first quarter, RBA's plus 160, Wawrinka plus
I like Kachin there
265.
at 6-1, man, at altitude.
I like that too. Wawrinka 2 plus 275, Munar plus 550. I hate that. Kachin plus 600. RCB is
Like
plus.
if I we just go ahead and eliminate Munar, Baena, maybe Richard, and probably Taro Daniel. I mean, honestly, I like Kachin here just by process of elimination. I don't like anybody else. I like Kachin.
I'm gonna tail you on that. I like
I
that.
don't think I play altitude any of those other guys with that are great plays.
What about Kachin to win the event?
No, I'd rather take the quarter because like like if he makes the semis, is he really that much like? Is he a good bet against like a Hoffman? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Just to win the quarter.
Yeah. I actually like all these quarter prices a little bit better. Like,
Yeah. So second quarter we talked about it with Hoffman. I mean, it's a weak quarter. Team Muller, Altmaier, Medvedev, Zhang, and Bonsai.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna bet Zhang, I think I prefer the 50-1 outright. I just like it's just like I'd rather have him as like a bigger dog, right? And I think Ahmad at 6 to win the quarter is pretty short, to be
Yeah,
honest. Like I
he
like
did play
Ahmad
well in
here, but 6
Madrid,
to
so
win is pretty
he's
short.
good in
What?
He did play well in Madrid, so he's good in altitude.
I know. That's why I was kind of thinking about like
It's just a tough draw though, like to play Medvedev first round.
I don't know. But then second round should be a win, right? Against Muller team.
Should be.
But you never know. He could lose that. And
And
yeah,
then
it's a tough draw. I don't love it. I think that I'm just gonna stay off of Zhang here, but like it's a fun little price if you want it.
and then third quarter, Sonego plus 150, Emer plus 500, ARVs plus 550, Varias plus 600, Fonini plus 650, Verinderneck plus 7.
This is how Senego's the favorite in this event, right? It's because like if you look at scores,
Quarters,
it's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, is there anything you even want to bet here? Like,
Sonego.
probably I'll stay away. Like, Fonini's actually kind of scary.
True.
What is Fonini?
You really trust Fonini to win 3 matches though? Like he has to not clown for 3 matches in a 250. I just don't like
Yeah,
that.
but why do you accept a wild card if he's gonna come here and clown? But he's not on home soil. I don't know how much of a crowd Gstaad gets.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like in terms of like a player, and 650 is not good enough. I was hoping he'd be shorter than this. 650 is terrible. Oh, yeah, screw that.
Yeah.
Sorry for the language, guys.
All right, and then fourth quarter, you got Miomir Kecmanovic plus 160, Jiri plus 240, Feast plus 550, Stricker plus 750, Husler plus 1400, Rodionov plus 800, and Zizou Bergs plus 1400. This is an interesting quarter.
I actually I might stay off the outrights and just play quarter prices. Okay. And go with 2 bets here. Laszlo at 240 and Stricker at 750. But Laszlo doesn't get a buy. Right? Who does Laszlo play in the first round? Zizou?
Yeah.
But he should. I mean, he really should make the round. He really should make the round of the quarters, right?
I'm a little worried about Husler.
Just he's at home.
Home with that serve. I mean, Jiri should win just based on like rally tolerance and stuff and like better mover.
Yeah.
And then you know how I feel about Arthur Feast. Like, I like Stricker, but I don't like that matchup in the first round. Like that to me is a pick'em with Feast.
That's fun. What is Stricker to win the quarter? He's like 8-1 or something, right?
7 plus 750.
Oh man.
I like all 3 of these guys, Jiri, Feast, and Stricker.
Yeah, but once you put money down, you're not going to win anything then.
I know.
Because you're going to lose 2 bets.
Right.
Then again, you have half the field covered, so you should win something.
Yeah.
Um,
How about the
you
fourth?
like Husler also go Jiri Fields, Stricker, and Husler, but then the problem is like you have to like modify your units because then if you go 1 unit on each and you play 4 guys and Jiri wins, then you lose money.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But it would be kind
How
of
about the
funny.
fourth quarter to win the event at plus 300?
The problem is like once one of these guys gets there, like are they the fate? You know what? I don't hate that. And I feel like I like the bottom half here at plus 105. Maybe not. It's really just the bottom quarter then. I really think I
Yeah, I
prefer
mean the thing is the first quarter or
the first quarter is ugly. The second quarter is ugly unless Hoffman gets there. I get it.
yeah, but they're more top heavy, right?
Yeah.
First quarter and second quarter, whereas the third quarter is kind of more well, third quarter is top
Third
heavy.
quarter is just bad. And the
The
fourth
fourth
quarter is
quarter
more
is
like
like
very,
balanced.
very even. There's a lot of guys there. Kind of
Yeah.
like that fourth quarter at plus 300. This shot
So you
play.
got 3 shots. Like I think Jiri, Feast, or Stricker could possibly win the event. Like whereas in
Yeah.
the third quarter it's just Sonego, second quarter it's really just Hoffman, and first quarter it's no one.
Yeah.
So I like the fourth quarter to win at plus 300.
Yeah.
Unseeded finalist. Yes, is minus 250. No, it's plus 185. Yeah. All right. So what are your plays here?
I'm gonna go Jerry to win the fourth quarter. I'm gonna go Hoffman to win the second quarter. I'm gonna go Kachin to win the first quarter. And I'm gonna go Stricker to win the event. And I'm gonna play that fourth quarter thing that you're playing too. So those 5.
Okay. So we have basically the same bets, except I'm adding the Hoffman to win the event at plus 650.
Yeah.
I'm adding the Husler 80 to 1
Okay.
to win the event.
I think if you're gonna play Hughes, I like him and Stricker, I both prefer as like long shots to win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play the fourth quarter because I think there are like 3 guys that can win it. You know, I might actually play Feast to win the event too. At 25 to 1.
Like it.
I don't mind that. I'm gonna vary the unit sizes here. Like I'm gonna put the least on Husler and then
Okay.
yeah, probably the most on Hoffman and then do like yeah. Yeah, I might do like 1.5 on Hoffman, half on Husler, and then 1 each on Feast and Stricker. Like I'll definitely vary my unit sizes here. And then yeah, the fourth quarter as well. So all right, let's go into individual matches. So I think qualifying is done in this event, so it's all
It is, yeah.
round. So Bonsai and Altmaier. Bonsai is a 3.5 game dog. Altmaier's minus 240 in the money line. Bonsai is plus 195. Over under is 22.
Bonsai's been so bad, man.
He's been bad, yeah.
He didn't win a single set on grass. 0-7 sets on grass.
But that being said, Bonsai is the more aggressive player with the better serve, right?
Yeah. But Altmaier made like semis in Madrid, didn't he? Or quarters? Did he make a run in Madrid?
He did. Yeah, that's true.
And it's not altitude, but he did beat Sinner at the French. I don't know, man. I think I just like Altmaier here just based on run of form.
I'm staying away. I
I
think
understand that.
I think this is accurate. Like 3.5.
I understand that.
When
I think I
Altmaier
might play Altmaier.
serve, yeah. What's Altmaier -1.5 sets though?
I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Altmaier -1.5 and plus 110.
I want plus money here. So.
Well, there's your plus money.
It's not much plus money. I was hoping for like 120 or 130. Are you hitting it?
I am.
All right, I'll tell you, but I'm not like super confident. It's fine.
I get it. I'm not either. Like if it wasn't plus, like I think this is like just enough for me to hit it. I probably should stay away, but I'm gonna hit it.
It's definitely not a play of the day candidate, but
no.
All right, Laszlo Jiri and Zizou Bergs. Jiri is a 4-game favorite, -300 on the money line. Bergs is plus 240. Over under is 22.
I don't like this. I don't want to play this. Like Zizou, like he occasionally pops up.
Yeah, he's talented
and plays like decent tennis, and then like the rest of the time he's awful. And Jiri can be like a little shady also, but he's pretty good on clay. Like this is a good spot for Jiri, but I prefer like I don't know. It's just stay. I don't know why that far off. I'd say like, neither of these guys are guys I particularly love to bet on. Like I don't trust either of these guys, so I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty well set. How about the under 22 here?
I think it's a great play. I'm not going to tell you on it, but I think it's a good play. I mean, like, it feels like Bergs either plays good or he plays bad.
Right, exactly. Like,
I mean, look at those lines, right? That's like 9 out of 10 matches that are straight setters.
yeah, exactly. I'm playing the under here.
I don't dislike it. Not telling, but I don't think it's terrible.
All right, this here is my play of the day here. Wame Munar against Richard. Munar is a 3.5 game favorite, -220, over under 22. Richard is plus 180. I love the Richard money line here, plus 180. It's in Switzerland. Munar has been god awful. It feels like he chokes away every match.
Well, and this is clay too, right? Or this is altitude too, which really you wouldn't think would be good for Munar's game.
Right. He lost to August Holmgren, choking away the first set in Braunschweig. I mean, his only
nice
win
in Madrid,
is
though.
Wimbledon. Yeah, Munar's been rough. Are you tailing me here?
I said no. Like, I just don't know for sure. Richard has been, I don't know. Richard's kind of a mess too. He lost to Chunsin Sang somehow in Roland Garros qualies. I know that's not altitude, but like.
But he made the final of the Lyon Challenger on clay.
And then he lost to in the first round of Salisbury the very next week to Trungeliti. It's like really up and down.
How's Richard serve?
Actually, it's not bad.
Let me see his serve first serve. 70% against Tringaliti. He served 75% against Kubler. He averages in the 70s, it looks like, for serve percentage.
In terms of making it in the court, right? That's not winning the point.
Yeah, that's right. Let me do some. I want to see some serve stats with him.
Yeah.
Because it's altitude, right? So the serving kind of matters more.
Yeah.
Where do you go on Tennis Abstract for serve stats?
If you go to if you go to their homepage
Okay.
and you just scroll down, they have like different stats, and you can look at service points one SPW. No, you have to go to the player's homepage.
Oh.
And instead of going and clicking on all matches right away,
All results?
no, don't just scroll. No, instead of going to all results, scroll down, and you'll see
Scroll
some.
down.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
see there. Yeah. So you can get you just went past it, right? Like they have like different splits. Like you can get 52 weeks, yearly splits, but it's basically around 60% of points won, which isn't great. But he plays mostly clay. So
Okay.
but he's not particularly great on serve.
What's the percentage that he gets broken?
Well, there's 23 on clay, 16 on hard. It's not good, but it's not like horrendous. It's like slightly below average.
And then Munar?
I mean, that's probably gonna be pretty extreme, probably. $27 there's his career.
27% of the time he gets
clay.
And he holds only 71%.
Oh no, he breaks 27%. He gets broken 28%. My bad.
I like Richard here, the fact that you get plus 180. Though, in Switzerland, so and just Munar, it just feels like he can't close a match. I saw some of that match in Brunswick, that challenger, and I mean, like, he choked.
Yeah. What about the overplay here?
That's interesting too. I like that too. I like Munar overs.
But it's a big over, man, for 3.5 games on clay.
22?
Yeah. I think the neutral on clay is usually between, but there's altitude, so it actually makes sense.
What's 3 set? Oh, plus 140, 3 sets.
You might be able to go with that one. Let me look at Munar chart again.
Munar plays a lot of 3 setters.
So does Richard.
That's the play.
Yeah, I'll tell you on that. That'd be my play too.
Ooh, Richard plays a ton of 3. His last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches won 3, or 6 matches won 3 sets.
Yeah.
And 8 of his last 9 matches have gone 3 sets. And then Munar, if he goes up a set, he gets tight closing out matches.
3 sets.
I think that's a great, and it's plus 140. It's not like plus 125 or 130. So I'm gonna do that as well as the Richard money line. Those are my 2 plays. That might be a play of the day, the 3 set line.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, Medvedev against Zhizhen Zhang. I like Medvedev -2.
I don't.
You don't? You're staying away, I'm assuming.
What?
You're staying away?
Dead stay away. Yeah, like I don't know. Zhang's just so annoying, right? Like because he's gonna come out and just blast the ball around.
The reason why I like Medvedev is because he qualified here.
Relevant.
So he kind of has 2 matches
under his belt,
getting used to the conditions.
Yeah.
Gets an opponent that just kind of blasts balls that, I don't know. And he beat Federico Gaio and Virtanen, which are decent wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away here.
I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna hit the -2 on Medvedev. All right, next match you got Alexandra Muller and Dominic Thiem. Basically a pick 'em. Muller's even money. Thiem is minus 120. Over under 22.5. You have a play here?
No. I think I'm just gonna stay away. I think it's a decent matchup for Team, but Team's been so awful.
As what's Thiem's last win? Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thiem's been really bad.
But I think Team matches up pretty well here, so I'm just gonna stay away.
Muller played well against Alcaraz at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And he's at least winning matches. He just won a clay challenger.
Yeah.
I like Muller here.
Okay. I'm not telling you, but okay.
Got even money. I like Muller. All right. Arthur Feast and Dominic Stricker. Feast is a 1-game favorite, minus 120. Stricker's even money, over under 22.5.
I'm on Stricker, man.
I'm on the over 22.
Well, actually, no, I'm gonna stay away. The over's not a bad look either. Let me look at something here.
I like the over.
You know what? I'm just gonna stay away.
2 big servers, altitude. This screams over. Pretty even match.
Yeah, screw it. All right, I'll go with you.
Over.
If it was 23, I would, but I think at 22.5, I will.
All right, Rinderknecht and Bagnes. Rinderknecht is a 2-game favorite, minus 155. Facundo is plus 130 on the money line, over under 22.5 as well.
I just want else to be all over Facundo, but I think because of the Alps, I'm gonna stay away.
I'm staying away. I have no read on this. I'd lean Rinderknecht, but there's too much juice on the money line, and I don't really want to.
Did we skip over? Did we skip over Husler and Rodionov?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, your boy Husler.
My boy Husler. Husler's a 1-game favorite, minus 125 on the money line. Rodionov plus 105, over under 23. Rodionov did qualify as well, so he has 2 matches under his belt. Husler.
That's the place it's Wimby.
The problem with Husler is like, okay, 80-1 is fine, but like, look at his clay results. He was horrible on clay.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're getting 80-1 now.
Even like he lost to Yibing Wu in altitude, you know? And he only
that's why you're getting 80-1.
Exactly.
The books just don't give 80-1. Yeah, you have to earn it. With poor performance.
I actually don't mind Rodionov here at plus 105.
Rodionov's still been weak though, man. I'd rather take him over 12.5. Actually, that might not be a bad play here if you like Rodionov, going Rodionov over 12.5.
Minus 110.
Like, if you like Rodionov, do you really think he's ever winning this like 4-4? I don't think so. Husler's service too big. And Rodionov is so likely to choke.
And the over is 23, which is not really something I want to hit on clay.
If you be over 22, I'd rather just play the over 23. I'd rather just play Husler over 12.5. Or sorry, I'd rather just play one of the guys over 12.5 if you're going to play the over.
You know what? Then I'm going to play Husler over 12.5, minus 120.
Either one's fine.
Yeah, because I'm rooting for him because I have the futures. So
yeah,
some added spice to the match. ARV and Fabio Fognini.
Damn, both of these have been awful.
Yuck. This. Do you want to play the ARV over 12.5? But he's been so bad, I don't even know if he can get there.
I don't want to play this because this is. I mean, like I know Fonini took a wild card to get in here, but man, this could be a Fonini clown spot. But like Ramos has also been so bad. Like I don't know why you would bet either of these. Like Fonini hasn't played since the French. I don't know why you would bet either of these guys.
It could
Fonini
be
could come out clown this match and just get ready for Hamburg too, or play a set and then clown just get ready for Hamburg. I would stay away.
But he could also come out and play incredible tennis and win 2-2. Right? Because
Yeah, the problem,
there's
right?
such
That's why you can't take ARV. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. There's such a big talent gap here.
Yeah, like you can't bet either guy. I think you have to stay away.
Stay
And
away.
ARV's been so bad.
All right. And then are you taking anything in this Rinderneck Bagness match? I really don't have a read on it.
No, not at altitude.
Lean Rinderneck just because of the serve, but like I don't know.
But I would lean Bagnus otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the matchup favors Bagnus.
But the altitude.
Emir Varius, probably gonna stay away here also. Emir had a nice run at Wimbledon.
He did. Beat Taylor Fritz.
Varius had a nice run at Wimbledon as well. Successfully lost 3 sets to who's anybody out to run on the court.
I don't mind Emer over 12.5 here.
I hate Emer over 12.5 lines. So there's 2 problems with that, right? Like one is like he's so athletic. Like he's like such a better athlete than Varias. He could just like why does Varias have to get to 5 in a set here?
Yeah, I guess. It's tough. I mean, Ymer is also coming from grass, right?
Yeah, I'm not playing this at all.
I mean, yeah, I guess the books have it right. It's very hard to read, and they have it.
Like, I would prefer Varias if there wasn't so much altitude, I think.
It's a complete pick 'em.
Yeah.
And neither guy really has a big serve.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not playing this match.
Here. Yeah, this is a stay away. Kachin and Taro Daniel. Ooh, I like Kachin money line, man.
Yeah, so do I. I'm all over Kachin money line here. That's
Beautiful.
my play.
Beautiful.
At altitude, I feel like the book isn't factoring the altitude here.
They're not. I think that's a play of the day candidate tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a play of the day for me, candidate.
Yeah. And
well,
then
it's not tomorrow, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. And then Stan Wawrinka and RCB.
I'm staying off of this, man.
Huh?
I'm staying off of this. If anything, I would maybe play RC. Well, no, I'm staying off this completely. I think this line's actually pretty good. Because like RCB, like Stan's serve is by far the bigger serve, he's by far the bigger hitter. But RCB is by far in better shape.
I don't know about that. Wawrinka played pretty well at Wimbledon. He also made the 3rd round of the French.
You trust Wawrinka's fitness?
Does it matter? It's a 250. 2 out of 3 sets.
I mean, we've seen Wawrinka get tired in 2 out of 3 sets.
I think he overpowers RCB here.
I don't like this match because I think I like at his peak, I agree. But if Wawrinka's not playing well, he's in major trouble in this match because Wawrinka's just gonna like make him run around and get a lot of balls back.
That's going to be harder in altitude, though.
That's why I think this line is pretty well set. Like I do think Wawrinka should be a pretty big favorite, which he is. Like if you were gonna play Wawrinka, what would you play? Minus the games? Would you play the 2-0?
I play my probably minus the games.
Yeah. Just curious.
I mean, I'm definitely closer to going towards Wawrinka than RCB here. I just don't see how RCB gets through Wawrinka here. Like, he doesn't hit the ball big enough. He doesn't serve big enough. And like, Wawrinka is going to be able to bully him around. And like, I think he's playing decent enough tennis where he's going to be able to implement the tactic.
Yeah.
So I like the minus. I'm going to play the -3 here.
All right.
So. All right. So that does it for Gstaad.
All right.
So, ton of plays here.
A lot of plays for you. I'm a lot fewer plays.
A lot fewer. Yeah. So what are our plays of the day for tomorrow? The 7-17 matches.
Um,
The Richard Munar over 3-set line.
yeah. Yeah, maybe. Was
Okay.
the one, is there anything in Newport that we both like? We were both getting pumped about Newport. Newport.
Newport. Let's see here. Oh, Michelson, Cressy. That's tomorrow. That's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's not much going on tomorrow.
yeah, not much going on tomorrow. These events really start on Tuesday. Besides Gstaad.
Yeah.
Anything in Bastad? I don't think so because qualifying is still going on. Oh,
Yeah.
Monteiro money line against Galan.
Yeah, we can do that as our play of the day.
You prefer that than the 3-set line?
Yeah, well, I think I was gonna go Monteiro over 12.5, right?
Oh, are we doing Monteiro 12.5 or Monteiro money line?
Either one, I don't care. Which one do you like better?
I prefer the money line.
All right, we'll go money line then.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So Monteiro money line against Galan is our play of the day tomorrow.
All right.
Then,
Manny, you are our play of the day in honor of your great performance today on the tennis court. You are our play of the day tomorrow.
Yes, nice. All right. I hope I don't disappoint.
All right.
All
well,
right.
get to bed, get some sleep.
All right. Sounds good. Peace out, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Thanks everyone for the support as always.
All right. See ya.